Hey there guys and girls, I thought, what 2D game should I review today? I did mention this on my 2-player Let's Play on Mystical Ninja on SNES, and Mystical Ninjas is my third favourite game, with Final Fantasy IX being second place and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time being first place. So I thought, hey, let's do a review on Mystical Ninja on SNES. I did a 1-player and a 2-player Let's Play of that wonderful game, and I will put a link to the highlights on the top right corner of the screen. Do not worry, I have your back. I will go through lots of amazing things about the game and a few things I wish could have been improved. To be fair, this game was released back in 1991 and had a bunch of re-releases, so problems are to be expected in just about any video game in general. The version I am reviewing is the Wii port, which lets you quick save, but not save states like Sega Classics Collection. Now, sadly, the Wii ports and Wii U ports to Mystical Ninjas on SNES are no longer available. There is a 3DS version that is also closed, but people have said the 3DS port is 1-player only, which limits the gameplay quite a lot. So yeah, the 3DS version is a letdown, unfortunately. So yes, there's not a lot of ways to be able to play Mystical Ninjas at the moment, right? So I think the best way to play Mystical Ninja is to borrow a SNES cartridge version from a friend, or borrow a Wii copy off someone who already knows it, or the Wii U copy that someone else already owns it as well. You know, like, ask a friend for it. I mean, is anyone going to spend this much on a SNES cartridge pre-owned? No. I do know there is a spiritual successor called Bakeru. That was released with English subtitles earlier this year. I am happy there is a new version of Goemon out there. By the way, Bakeru is made by Good Feel, the same developers that helped Nintendo make Yoshi's Woolly World. I did watch some gameplay to Bakeru and it's actually pretty good. It's 3D, it is 1-player though, but most games tend to be 1-player. So yeah, let's go back to Mystical Ninjas, right? So yeah, Mystical Ninjas is such a funny game. I had so much fun playing it. I remember playing it with my siblings and everything, even before I did the Let's Plays, right? And so one of the funniest things about Mystical Ninjas on SNES is that you get to beat up normal civilians and steal their money. Now, obviously, don't do this in reality. And it's where there's amazing 3D effects for a 1991 platformer. And it's where there's a lot of amazing secrets, like the basement to stage 5. I did not know that was there until many years later down the line. So holy moly, I didn't even know that was there. Went straight past it like a million times. Not literally a million times, but about 20-30 times, but oh well. It's where even the boss fights tend to be quite funny. Like the box guy, and he like bad breath attacks you and uses hair as a boomerang. I was like, what on earth were they thinking when they made that boss? It's supposed to be funny, obviously. It's like, what? And it's where one of the best things about Mystical Ninjas is that it's not just beat up enemies, there's a lot of mini games, like Paint Panic. That's one of my absolute favourite mini games in the game. And so another one of my favourite ones is the quiz show that you get to do. Now, I get that it's a 1991 game, but it's where the funniest thing about the quiz show in the game is that it's like, they ask you a question, you get it right, and then now for the next question, and it's the exact same one again from before. So okay, and there's only 5 questions in this quiz show, and it's randomized, so, you know. Yeah. And it's where there's some other mini games as well. I like Whack-A-Mole, but it's not as good as Paint Panic is. And it's where I like the maze game thing where you get free 1-up and lots of free bombs and things like that. I like that as well, but you can only do that a certain number of times. And it's where one of the best things about Mystical Ninjas, in my opinion, it's got some of the best music I've ever heard on a SNES cartridge. It's like, holy moly, they managed to make all that, squash that all in a SNES cartridge. And it's where the cutscenes are actually pretty funny. But one of the funniest things about some of the cutscenes in the game is that they have like the largest size fonts ever. Like, holy moly, look how big that is. Now, because it's a 1991 game, pretty obvious there's going to be a few problems with this game. Now, in the Wii copy that my family owns, it's where there's some serious collision detection issues, and it's where in our 2-player Let's Play there was a lot of collision detection issues, like this one here, and this one here. And it's where another problem in the game, which isn't a big one, but it's where passwords tend to be very, very long, especially on 2-player. I mean, look at that! You're not going to be able to know all that off by heart. And it's where back in 1991, etc., it's like we had to keep some pad paper and actually, you know, notepad paper, and it's where we had to write it down. But as we were recording the 2-player Let's Play, you could just look back on the recording and it's right there, so it's a lot easier to do it. Or you can just take a photograph on your phone if you're playing it in like 2005, that sort of era. So yeah, some of the passwords are really long. And it's where one of the biggest problems with Mystical Ninjas is the judo spells that you get from the judo man. And it's where it's so restricting how you're supposed to use them, and it's where the biggest problem with these judo spells, they're also known as ninjutsus, right? And it's where the biggest problem is that even when you learn it, you only get it for one stage, and they're very expensive to get, and you can only use it in the platforming sections, so they don't work in the street segments. They didn't really explain that very well in the game. What the developers should have done is make it be where when you learn a jutsu spell, you keep it for the rest of the game, not one stage. I think that was a very, very bad idea. But yes. And it's where one neutral aspect of the game is that the game tends to be very hard without reading the manual first. Without the manual, it is very confusing what is an enemy and what is not. So it's like, you're not supposed to hit the girls, you're supposed to rescue them by colliding into them. Also, without the manual, you will not know what most store items do. And it's where there's 9 stages in this game, and it's where stage 6, Kyoto, and stage 8, Ryukyu Kingdom, are the hardest stages in the game by far. Be prepared to get frustrated by those stages the most, especially since it's mandatory to get the Dragon Pass and the textbook to progress with the game. Verdict: play this if a close friend of yours has a copy. I would not spend over £100 on a pre-owned SNES cartridge. I'm surprised Konami hasn't re-released this on the Nintendo Switch yet, but they did release it on other consoles before they shut the servers. If Legend of Mystical Ninja does come out on the Nintendo Switch, you've got to buy it when you get the chance. It's easily one of Konami's best games and one of the best SNES games out there as well.